Hello, Flosstube. I am sorry for the 58 people who listened to my version of lip reading video. So we're going to try it again. Again, I'm filming live. At least this time I know I need to actually listen to the video before I upload it. Uploaded that one live, the way it was taken. And I have discovered that on my tablet, if I have the media volume turned off, it also does not record any volume. So again, I am so sorry if you tried the exercise in lip reading. So let's start over. It's July. It is too hot up in my craft room right now to film up there. So we're filming here in the dining room. I have Fire and Ice, which was framed by Jill Rensel, and you can't see the full effect, but the mane continues on into the velvet. And then I've got Fantasy Sampler, which is a Teresa Wentzler pattern. The Fire and Ice is Custom Crafts. Teresa Wentzler's Fantasy Sampler, I stitched it years and years ago. In fact, it was right around the 1994 DMC color change. And 930 was one of those colors that did change a little. The dye lots were DMC, you didn't need to worry about dye lots until 94, and then now you have to worry about dye lots. But I found that leaving it in full sun, you now can't tell where the color change was on the 930, because apparently they bleached evenly. And then we also have fire. That's a different Fire and Ice. That's a oh crap, Black Swan. That's the Black Swan Fire and Ice. This one was Custom Crafts. So anyway, there's a lot of smoke in the air, and that's honestly can't tell if it's from the wildfires or my credit card. So there is a lot of haul in this video. But we'll start with other things and save the haul for the end. We'll start with stitching. On my last trip, I started an Armada Designs kit. That's how much I got done on the plane. That is Dragonite. And just a cute little piece. I have not stitched on Ada in years, so this is kind of interesting. And I did swap out the needle that came with the kit because you do not do cross stitch with sharp needles. If you use a sharp needle with cross stitch, you're more likely to pierce your fabric. And if you are ever doing competition, that's one of the big no-nos, and that will disqualify you in a lot of cases. Is if you pierce the fabric threads, you're done. So don't do it. That's why we use blunt needles and cross stitch. So the other piece I've worked on a lot is Teresa Wentzler's Dragon Ride. When I started, I had like this little, I had the tail and this part of the wing done. Got quite a bit done this month. I'm still having fun with it. I put in about 8 hours this month. So you'll notice that's on a frame. Oh, I got some work on Tiger Lily. This is my new travel carrier for scroll frames. Just a simple bag with a drawstring, and zebra matches my Jeep. So here's Tiger Lily, what's done of her. Yeah, you can't tell it's Tiger Lily, but that's Mirabilia Tiger Lily. So anyway, I have just shown you 3 out of the 4 types of tension that I use for stitching. Hoop. And one of the things I don't like about hoop is, see how that leaves a circle? That's even taking it right off after stitching. If you are using linen or even weave, you can pull your fabric out of tension, out of shape permanently. But hoop is wonderful if you're working in hand. So the other piece that I've been using a hoop on is, my needle minder came off. So anyway, I've been using a hoop on it's upside down. I've been using a hoop on Wildlife. Almost done with the green. There's the hoop I've been using. It's an antique hoop from my grandmother. This is a spring hoop. It means there's nothing to tighten. And it's very beautifully sanded and has a cork lining. Okay, the second thing I use occasionally is a Q-snap. You can see I started using a hoop on this, and when I talk about pulling things out of line, I don't know if I can get that close enough that you can see it. I've got a bald patch right there where the warp and weft were pulled out of shape by the hoop. So this one went onto the Q-snap. Nice thing about Q-snap is you can gather the fabric, so it's nicely, neatly all bunched together. You don't have to worry about it. But that tends to loosen the Q-snap a little bit. Also, I can still work in hand in that, but it's a little awkward. So a lot of times I'll put it on the edge of my chair and then use a frame weight to hold it in place. Yes, that looks like a Beanie Baby. It's not. It weighs about a pound. It's full of bismuth beads. So, you can also use buckshot. So, anyway, you can't tell how heavy it is, but that weighs about a pound. Isn't that cute, though? It's a frame weight. So the other thing I use is scroll frames. This is a scroll frame on a lap stand. You can either do this on a table, or this one you can actually sit on. I've got other stands that go on top of my lap, but this one's a lap stand. Your legs go here, your front works up here. Scroll frames are great. I'm using Tiger Lily on a scroll frame. Wonderful for travel. Easy to take apart and put together. Sometimes you have issues with tensioning the sides. Again, always loosen when you're not working. The other type of frame I use is what you see dragging right on. This is a needlepoint frame. I'm bumping the camera. So basically this is just, you get two different bars in a set. You put them together. They just have notched edges. You slide them together. They're like $2.50, $3 for a pair. You just make it the size you need. Tack your fabric on with brass tacks. You don't use stainless steel, they rust. Brass doesn't. If I were going to put this up for several weeks, I would take the tacks out of two of the sides so that I don't keep my fabric taut. If you keep your fabric taut, it tends to pull out of shape. So don't keep your fabric taut. But those are the four types of frames that I use for tensioning my stitching. Okay, that smoking credit card we were talking about. I got caught up in Mirabilia madness. And I got Seaside Kingdom. And Lady Mirabilia. Because I got the bead packs for both of them, the embellishment kits. Joann's had the floss sale, so I got the DMC. Normally I would do an anchor conversion, but honestly, I've been busy. I leave Monday on a plane. I get home Thursday or Friday. I'm not here during the week. But for Seaside Kingdom, I ordered a Sparklies fabric. I got Sparkly's Dusk for Seaside Kingdom. So fold that back up and put it back away. So that there's Seaside Kingdom and Lady Mirabilia. I got Seaside Kingdom and Lady of the Flag for my local LNS, which does not have an online presence. Although I understand they are starting a blog. I'll see it when I'll worry about it when I actually see it. So, and then from Cindy Sorley, I got the We the People, the preamble fabric. She is on the viewer as Fabric Flair. She sells on Facebook as Stitchery Express, or you can look up Cindy Sorley. So there's my Lady of the Flag and fabric. I didn't buy floss for Lady of the Flag because I'm going to do a conversion on her. I don't know if I'm going to do her blue, green, or red, but I'm not doing her yellow. I just don't like yellow. And I know she looks gorgeous in yellow. Nora did a wonderful job on her. It's just not my color. So from Just Add Needles, I was able to get Fairy Moon and Stargazer. And I am going to I'm going to mirror Stargazer so that she and Fairy Moon are looking at the same moon. Plan on doing them on a single piece of fabric. Don't have it yet. Don't know what fabric it's going to be. We'll figure it out when we get there. But I got the bead pack from Just Add Needles there. Same there. Actually, there's no bead pack for Stargazer, but she basically pulled in all the beads for me. So those are all beaded up. And then we mentioned that my credit card's been smoking. Just Add Needles threw in the 25th anniversary celebration booklet. And I had already ordered it from embroidery.com, which is where I got my Lady Mirabilia. So I have an extra one that I'll probably end up giving away. Don't know how I'll give it away yet, but we'll probably end up giving it away. And then the next purchase I made was Hindelsman in the Provo Orem area in Utah is going out. They are liquidating their cross stitch. They are not going out of business. They will remain a yarn shop, but they are adding spinning and weaving because right now there are no spinning and weaving outlets in Utah. So they're adding spinning and weaving to their repertoire and liquidating their cross stitch. Well, the last time we talked on Flosstube, I showed you my haul that I drove down to Orem and got. Well, there were two patterns down there that I really wished I had picked up, but Megan Bangeter is going into Hindelsman on a daily basis and picking things up for people. So she picked up S is for Stitcher and Q is for Quilter for me. So I have both of those now. Things are falling off the table. And then Terry, my friend Terry Allison, works at a LNS in Texas. And we got together when I was in Denton, Texas. No, we didn't get together when I was in Denton. Anyway, I was in Texas. Terry and I got together. I don't think it was when I was in Denton. I think it was one of the other times. Maybe it wasn't. Anyway, Terry and I got together. So I picked up a bunch of stuff from her shop. I'm stitching Tiger Lily and Silk, and somewhere along the line I misplaced my skin colors. So we have the Caucasian skin color, and then we have the not Caucasian skin colors. in silks so that I can do things. Because not all patterns are Caucasian, or shouldn't be. And then I also got the original Stitches to Go, which is a stitch guide for all sorts of different stitches you can use for cross stitch and needlepoint. It's a compact version of a great big book. So we have Stitches to Go. I got Lizzie Kate's Halloween Rules and Christmas Rules and Mean Mother. And I got the Just Nan Summer Mouse Scissor Roll. So I think that's everything I picked up from her shop. Okay. Still good. Oh, hey, here's that second Mirabilia 25th anniversary book. I may end up giving that to one of the people who pointed out that there was no sound on the last video. And if you're looking for the one where the sound is gone, I took it down and deleted it. So the other thing, between that filming and this filming, I went down and picked up the Just Cross Stitch Halloween issue, and lots of fun stuff in here. This Old House, it is a backstitched piece reminiscent of blackwork. It doesn't qualify as blackwork because guess what, guys? Believe it or not, there are rules to stitching. And I know a lot of you say, no, there aren't rules, just do whatever you want. And that's fine, unless you're entering competition. And in just a second here, we'll talk about the rules. But there were some really cute things in here. The booze stop. The only thing that bothers me is, look at that. I've got like 4 pages with this black crap on them. So, I don't know. Maybe I need to complain to Just Cross Stitch, but... And then here's the other thing that just really annoyed me. Beautiful pattern, right? Yes? No back stitching. It's all full crosses or half crosses. What makes that an advanced pattern? It's just a large beginner's piece. It's not like there's any specialty stitches. There's not a back stitch in it. I don't know why somebody would think that's advanced. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? So we talked about the rules of stitching. I got the Royal School of Needlework Book of Embroidery. People, these are the rules. These, if you're getting a degree in embroidery, which includes cross stitch, these are the rules. If you are participating in competition, these are the rules. This book used to be next to impossible to find. However, it's been reissued. It's available on Amazon for $26. It is huge. But it goes through everything. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, we've got sections on gold work, working with metallic threads, got how to prepare your work, cross stitch, stump work, white work, bead embroidery, the tools you use. You know, I talked about frames. There's frames. Transferring patterns. Preparing your work to work on a frame. Guys, know the rules before you break them. I love breaking rules. Trust me, I love breaking rules. But you need to know the rules before you break them. So, when people say, there are no rules to stitching. Yeah, if you're just doing it for yourself, there are no rules. If you're doing it for competition, Yes, there are rules. You can find those rules out either from the Embroiderers Guild of America, EGA. Seriously, everybody ought to join EGA at least once. You know, find out what the rules are, then go ahead and break them. So I mentioned that I hit Joanne's sale for DMC. I kitted up 4 different projects. Talk about that one in a second. I kitted up Counted Illuminations Goblin Market. I've got the coolest fabric from Picture This. I think it's Picture This Plus. Honestly, don't know where the fabric's from, but I got everything for it. I've got to finish Dragon Ride, or at least something else, before I start that one. And then I kitted up both Elizabeth and Sabrina. Notice they face each other. I'm going to do them on a single piece of fabric. This I know is Picture This Plus because I bought it when I was in Oklahoma. Oh, no, I take it back. This one's a Silk Weaver. This is Silk Weaver 32 count Belfast linen in Thunderstorm. So there's the yard of fabric I'm using for Sabrina and Elizabeth, facing each other on the same piece of fabric. I'm going to have to do some measuring before I start either one of them. So with the 25th anniversary of Mirabilia, I just want to talk about the very first Mirabilia I ever saw. This is the very first Mirabilia I ever saw. This is Mother's Arms. It is a full coverage piece. Mirabilia doesn't do very many full coverage pieces. So there she is. She was originally stitched on 32 count ivory linen. So here's the thing. I spent a lot of time in plains. I normally don't stitch on Aida. This is a full coverage piece. You're not going to see with the fabric underneath. I could stitch her on the plain if I did her on Aida. I have a bolt of 14 count Aida upstairs. Hancock Fabrics was going out of sale. They had a bolt of Aida. It was next to nothing. I picked it up. I figured, I'll resell it sometime. Well, it's still sitting up in my closet. So, tell me, if you were me, or if you were going to do this piece, would you stitch this on Aida? Or would you just get a piece of linen somewhere, or a piece of even weave? What would you stitch this on? Seriously, that was the very first Mirabilia I bought. It was issued in 1995. I think I bought it brand new in 1995. I've still never started it. So we're going to have to fix that. Okay, we mentioned Dragon Ride. This is a Teresa Wentzler dragon. Some of you may have heard Teresa has pulled all of her dragons from the market. I'm really lucky in that I have all of her dragons with the exception of the Dragon Scissor Fob and Fire Dragon. I was missing the Needle Minder and Sun Dragon, but somebody very generously sent me their copies of them. So I have them now. So if Teresa Wentzler's not doing dragons anymore, where do we go for our dragons? I would like to mention Patricia Allison. This is Patricia Allison's Dragon Carousel. I am really looking forward to stitching that one. I've had it kitted up for a couple of years. So I'm stitching Dragon Carousel, Teresa Wentzler's Carousel, and blanked out on the designer. Firewing Designs Wild Hunt. I've got the 3 of those on very similar fabric, and I plan to stitch the 3 of those and hang them all together. So of course there's always Dragon Dreams as a place to get your dragons. You'll still be able to get Teresa Wentzler's on eBay's. The Vickery collection, that's a frog, but he actually has a couple dragons too. This is my dragon binder, by the way. No. This is my dragon binder. So I keep my patterns in a 4-drawer filing cabinet, and usually they're by designers, sometimes they're by subject. I have a dragon binder. So this is X's and O's. And Sandra Parlow has several cute dragons. I do not have any Dracolair dragons, but she does some wonderful ones too. Black Swan. Yeah, this one kind of goes with that one. Here's another Black Swan. That's Dragons by the Fire. It's a Christmas stocking. I've stitched Fairy Tale Sampler for both my boys. More Dragon Dreams. Dragon Dreams has gemstone dragons as well. And for those of you who are saying, but the Dragon Dreams are simple dragons, we want complicated dragons. Have you discovered Firewing Designs? This is Dragonfly number 2, Amazon Velvet. Fire. Upstairs I have Smoke kitted. It's got a quote from Blade Runner. This one's Shadow Storm. Firewing Designs has some absolutely incredible dragons. You may want to check them out. You can usually find their stuff on Picture This Plus's website. So I think that's where we ended before. So, okay, wait a second. I write down what I'm going to talk about before I make the video, especially now that I'm doing live. So let's see, we talked about Smoking Credit Card, we went through everything I did, all the Mirabilia Haul. Oh, I still have one item pending. And I went to Case Creations and I got a floor frame. So that's in the mail, should be here. Oh, and bringing stuff back up. I got Silks for You. I got a purple with a black wash to do the Bothy Threads Alice in Wonderland in. So I haven't tie-dyed my fabric for that yet. I'm gonna use that 14 count data I've got. I'm gonna tie-dye it, and then I'm gonna do the Alice in Wonderland silhouette on that. Okay, we went over the Dragonite and the Dragonite stitching. We went over the we didn't really talk about, yeah, we did kind of talk about the pros and cons of a hoop, Q-snaps, scroll frame, and frame. So we did that. Talked over the dragon patterns, showed you my traveling bag. Yep, that's everything I was going to talk about. So again, sorry to the 58 of you who ended up having the exercise in lip reading. Maybe it'll give you a little bit of compassion for those people who are watching Flosstube without closed captioning. Sorry guys, still not going to close caption this one. Eventually I'll figure out how to do it, but that's kind of almost too close to editing for me. So sorry. Anyway, that's pretty much everything that happened in June. I'm heading out to Jefferson City, Missouri again next week. And then I'm actually going to go take a vacation with my husband the week after that. And don't have my travel plans for August because my boss said, let's wait till you get back from vacation. So, except I know I'm going to be in Las Vegas the very last week of August. Other than that, don't know where I'm going to be in between. Hope everybody's having a fun summer, or if you're in Australia or the Southern Hemisphere, enjoy your winter. And guys, remember, patterns are just a place to start. Have fun with them. This is our hobby. Enjoy. But there are rules. Know them before you break them. Thanks, everyone.